top announcement of the Union Budget 2025. Union Finance Minister tabled Union Budget 2025. It was tabled on four important engines of development: agriculture, micro, small and medium enterprises, investment and exports. When I spoke to all of you in earlier occasion, I said the present budget should focus on middle class. Fortunately, it has been heard by the Finance Minister, and Finance Minister has given the tax benefit to the middle class substantially. The first top announcement of the Union Budget 2025 is providing tax benefit up to 12 lakh rupees to the middle class. The point to be noted here is, if you earn income of 12 lakhs, there is no tax you need to pay. But whereas when you marginally exceed 12 lakhs by 10,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees or even by 1 rupee, then the entire 12 lakh will be taxed under the slab rate of tax. My dear friends, for the ease of understanding, I have come out with the illustration to explain you about how this rebate model works. Total salary income, let's assume your total salary income is 12,75,000 rupees, and after standard deduction of 75,000, it becomes 12 lakh. Accordingly, on 12 lakh, you calculate tax. It comes to about 60,000 rupees. So tax as per the new regime is 60,000 based on new tax slab rates, and that 60,000 will be deducted by Section 87A rebate, which is about 60,000 rupees. So accordingly, your tax outflow becomes nil. This is a scenario when your income is 12 lakh 75,000, because 75,000 is provided as a standard deduction and 60,000 is provided as a rebate under Section 87A. Let us come to second scenario, where let's assume your total salary income is 13 lakhs. Of course, standard deduction is anyway applicable. From 13 lakhs, you will deduct 75,000. Your taxable income after standard deduction is 12 lakh 25,000 rupees. 12 lakh 25,000 rupees. That means it exceeds 12 lakhs by 25,000 rupees. Just because you exceed 12 lakhs by 25,000 rupees, tax as per new slab is 63,750 by applying the tax slabs. Accordingly, your rebate under Section 87A is nil because it exceeded 12 lakhs. Accordingly, net tax liability is about 63,750 as the rebate is not applicable. Through this example, you can understand how the new announcement under the Union Budget 2025 with respect to tax benefit up to 12 lakh works. I'm sure the benefit provided by the government is of course good to start, but the rebate model should be replaced by exemption model by increasing 4 lakhs to 12 lakhs. And I hope in future the government will definitely consider increasing the basic exemption limit itself to 15 lakhs definitely by 2029. The second big announcement of the Union Budget 2025, it will be shock for all of you, especially tax professionals. My dear friends, the government has committed itself to bring the new income tax bill in the coming week in the parliament. Please note that in the coming week in the parliament. Post independence, the proposal by the government to bring income tax act was even prevailing during the Congress regime. But the Congress regime could not make the bill an act. That is, they tried to bring direct tax code. Now the present government is also trying in the same lines to bring new income tax act. They said this government has brought new criminal laws. In the same lines, that is, new criminal laws are named as Nyaya. In the same lines, they wanted to bring income tax as well. My dear friends, this announcement could be very exciting to all of you. When the government said that they want to simplify the tax regime, they will make sure that the language of the act is direct. But the point to be noted is, it is the same level of commitment they gave when the GST Act came in 2017. But we know what is the present status of the GST. Number of litigation that's happening in the high courts across the country. There are even Supreme Court judgments which has come under the GST regime. And even GSTN, we all know the problems that the traders, business people, micro, small and medium enterprises face. So it does not matter what is the language of the act, But the point to be noted is how the law is implemented. So the question here is, it's not about the language of the act, it is about the simplicity of implementation and enforcement by the department. Let's assume the new Income Tax Act is unveiled and the new income tax bill gets passed and becomes an act. What is the impact of a professional, especially the tax professionals and chartered accountants? There are lot of assessment pending under the old act and new assessment that can come up in the future under the new law in the future. So literally all those litigations which are pending under the old act will continue. In fact, many of the litigations are continuing for decades, because post assessment it goes to CIT appeal, Commission of Income Tax Appeal. Post Commission of Income Tax Appeal it goes to Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, ITAT. Post ITAT it comes to High Court, then it goes to the Supreme Court. Already there are litigations pending under the old act. Now coming out with the new act, literally the professional should carry old act bar act as well as the new act for all the work that you do. And definitely the Supreme Court judgments that are coming in the tax space will definitely prevail over as a tax standpoint. The apex court judgments will prevail over as a tax standpoint. Because if the government is trying to bring a simplified tax regime, then giving effect to the Supreme Court judgment already in place will complicate the law. That means Supreme Court judgments, if they are not given effect to, then those Supreme Court judgments as a tax jurisprudence will prevail, and the simplicity of the tax will again take the assessees to the litigation. So it may be very exciting for the government to announce the new Income Tax Act, but at the end of the day, the effort taken by the government is definitely a burden to the assessee over a period of time. Rather than bringing a new Income Tax Act, the government can try to amend the provisions of the existing Income Tax Act substantially. I'm not saying a random amendments here and there or giving effect to the Supreme Court judgment, but rather replace the entire Income Tax Act 1961 with an amendment of every provision already prevailing. And the second challenge that the tax professionals will face after the new income tax bill gets passed is the section number, arrangement of the section number. Already, advocates that were practicing on the criminal side are finding it difficult for mapping the old IPC with the new criminal laws and even Evidence Act. The similar situation will come for the income tax as well. The question is, what is the object in which the new Income Tax Act is being tabled in the Parliament? The object is to make it simple and litigation free. But whereas it will be prone to litigation over a period of time, I'm just looking at how the Income Tax Act is going to be simple, because Albert Einstein used to say, the most complicated thing in the world is the tax law. And he forgot to say Indian Income Tax Act. The third important announcement of the Union Budget 2025 is credit card facility for micro entrepreneurs. Government in the present budget has announced for customized credit card with a 5 lakh limit for micro enterprises registered on Udyam portal. Last year, 10 lakh such cards will be issued. The fourth important announcement of the Union Budget 2025 is significant enhancement of credit availability with guarantee cover. The credit guarantee cover for micro small enterprises is currently 5 crores. This has got enhanced to 10 crores. And for the startups, it is 10 crores currently. It has got enhanced to 20 crores. Beyond this, export MSMEs, in case of export MSMEs, for a term loan up to 20 crore, there is a credit guarantee. This is with respect to significant enhancement of credit availability with guarantee cover. The fifth important announcement of the Union Budget 2025 is revising the definition of MSME. My dear friends, we all know the definition of MSME is based on investment criteria as well as turnover criteria. With respect to the investment criteria, with respect to micro enterprises, presently investment of 1 crore has been enhanced to 2.5 crores. Next, the turnover criteria has been enhanced from 5 crores currently to revised 10 crores. The second important enterprises is small enterprises. In case of small enterprises, the current investment criteria is 10 crores, which has been enhanced to 25 crores. It has got revised. And the turnover is 50 crores currently to revised 100 crores. The third important revision that has happened in the definition of the medium enterprises is currently the investment criteria for medium enterprises is 50 crore. It got revised into 125 crores. Turnover criteria. The current 250 crores has been enhanced to 500 crore. My dear friends, by revising this MSME definition, more enterprises are covered under the net of MSME. What is the benefit of the enterprises getting covered under MSME? They have a credit access. 2, there is a guarantee cover. 3, the schemes which are applicable to those MSMEs which have been categorized based on investment criteria and turnover criteria will now get enhanced and applied to 500 crore turnover based company as well as investment which is about 125 crores. Almost it covers most of the companies in India, and this will bring more MSMEs in the country. We all know MSMEs are the growth drivers of the nation. They provide 94.5% employment opportunity, and they are also the contributed to the tax revenue. Nearly 94% of the corporate tax revenue also comes from MSME. Hardly 6% of the corporate tax comes from large enterprises and MNCs. So my dear friends, from the perspective of employment, from the perspective of tax revenue, from the perspective of growth catalyst, MSMEs are the pillars of the nation. So this transformation or revision in the definition will act as an impedance for the manufacturing industry as well as entrepreneurship initiatives in the country. The sixth important announcement under the Union Budget 2025 is with respect to fixed deposit interest income of senior citizens. The tax deduction limit for senior citizens have been doubled from 50,000 to 1 lakh. The TDS deduction limit for senior citizens doubled from 50,000 to 1 lakh. So that means beyond 1 lakh only the TDS has to be deducted. Otherwise, through a relevant form, the same can be filed and exempted out. My dear friends, this is a very important transformation because most of the senior citizens put their money in the risk-free investments like fixed deposit. Moment they put their money in the fixed deposit, they get a stable income. Of course, that interest income may not beat the inflation, but it is always considered as a risk-free investment. The seventh important announcement under the Union Budget 2025 is the scheme for first-time entrepreneurs. My dear friends, Bharat Ratna Baba Saheb Dr. B.R. Ambedkar always wanted entrepreneurship to thrive even among the marginal people and the poor people in this country. The entrepreneurship initiative is a very important initiative which can transform people's life. So for the people who are aiming to be the first time entrepreneurs, the government under the present budget has provided for about 5 lakh first time entrepreneurs, including women from women's and scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, a new scheme to be launched wherein they will provide a term loan of 2 crore for each of the entrepreneurs in the next 5 years. The provision of term loan to the women, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, aiming to be the first time entrepreneur is a great impetus for transformation of entrepreneurship in the grassroots level. Definitely this scheme is a welcome sign which will ensure more than the job seekers, there will be job creators who will transform the nation. The next important announcement in the budget, enhanced credit through KCC, which facilitates a short-term loan for 7.7 crore farmers in the country. The amount provided for the dairy farmers and the farmers is about 5 lakh rupees. This credit card will help the farmers to enhance their potential to earn because the credit facility was lacking for the farmers. Definitely the step taken by the government by providing 5 lakhs credit card will ensure that the farmers' life gets transformed. The ninth important announcement under the Union Budget 2025 is 1 lakh crore to implement the proposals for cities as growth hubs, creative redevelopment of cities and water and sanitation. My dear friends, we all know the government of India launched smart cities. Adding up to the smart city initiative of the government has come out with an additional program that is Urban Challenge Fund. Because we need more urban areas in this country. We hardly have few cities in the country which is now overcrowded. We at least need 500 cities now in India. C.K. Prahalad, the great management thinker, used to say, India urgently needs more than 500 cities. Accordingly, to enhance the urban development, to provide more opportunity for the youth, the government has allotted 1 lakh crore for Urban Challenge Fund, providing the best amenities as a growth fund for the cities. 10th important announcement of the Union Budget 2025, which has been missed by many of them, is the announcement with respect to medical facility in India. First of its announcement is creating 200 cancer centers to treat the cancer disease is being proposed under the budget. Next is creating 75,000 medical seats in another 5 years. This is a very big announcement because we need more medical practitioners, doctors for taking care of our population. Today, doctor-patient ratio is very minimal in India. Accordingly, we need more doctors to increase the ratio to treat our people, not just for India, but for the entire world. So creating 75,000 additional seats in the next 5 years will definitely transform medical education in India. The present government should definitely support the middle class people because middle class, especially the salaried class, are the honest taxpayer for decades in this country. This country has developed because of salaried employees. You contributed every pie because of your sweat and you have paid tax upfront before withdrawing your salary. Thank you.